This program is brought to you by the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii, a nonprofit organization dedicated to sharing with the community the many benefits of a vegetarian diet. Free monthly meetings include vegetarian experts found locally and on the mainland, quick and easy cooking demonstrations, and healthful and delicious food samples. Members enjoy an informative quarterly newsletter, social activities, and discounts at many vegetarian-friendly restaurants and health food stores. For an application, call 944-8344. That's 944-8344. Or visit our website at www.vsh.org. vsh.org.
Aloha, and welcome to the monthly public lecture of the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii. The Vegetarian Society of Hawaii, since 1990, has continued to follow our mission of promoting human health, animal rights, and protection of the environment by means of vegetarian education. By the way, we are happy to announce that you can now choose to have your VSH newsletter delivered electronically. You'll not only be helping us to save both trees and postage, but you'll also get each issue in full color. You can sign up for this tonight, or also call or email us. I'd like to take this opportunity now to acknowledge our wonderful meeting volunteers. Dr. Fred Foster at the reception table. Hi. Dr. Ruth Heydrich, who's helping here somewhere. There she is in the back. Hi. And Alita Rutschik. I think she's at the free literature table. Hi. They're both past VSH presidents, by the way. And we also have, I see Dr. Steve Blake and Angie also at the free literature table. Steve is not only a VSH board member, but he came over from Maui with our speaker tonight, who happens to be his wife. We also have UH Professor Emeritus Carl Seff, who is not only hosting our speaker and her spouse, but also providing her lovely haku lei here and her husband's beautiful lei too. Not to mention our refreshment supplies as well as our free literature and reception table supplies tonight. Dr. Bill Harris at the video camera, and Ariane Lee, Jim Thompson, and Carl again helping in the kitchen. If you'd like to join them and the rest of us in having a great time while doing something positive for the world, please see me before you go. Please be sure to stay after tonight's talk to enjoy samples of the delicious dishes demonstrated, the ingredients for which were donated by Down to Earth. We're videotaping tonight's presentation for broadcast on the VSH television series Vegetarian, which appears on public access channels across the state, including on Oahu's Olelo Channel 52. You can also view videos of this and many of our past presentations on our website, vsh.org, where you'll also find lots of other great information, including recipes, our famous dining guide, as well as past newsletters. It's time now for our special guest. We're delighted to have with us tonight Chef Catherine Blake. Televised chef Reverend Catherine Blake, B.A. and B.D., has been preparing whole food, plant-based meals daily for over 20 years. With a background in nutrition and natural healing, she has been a kitchen health consultant since 1990. In 2007, she earned a certificate in micronutrition. Catherine has been teaching healthy cooking classes for the VITEC program at the University of Hawaii Maui College since 2008 and is the author of Healthy Recipes for Friends, Soothing, Simple, and Pure. Catherine lives on Maui with her husband, Dr. Steve Blake, VSH Board Director and Maui Coordinator, with whom she works on many vegan activities, both there and in their travels. Catherine's talk tonight is called the Maui Light Cooking Demo, 7 Ways to Perfect Health. Please welcome Chef Catherine Blake.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to be here. I see many familiar faces. I want to start off with thanking Bill Harris, who does so much work and is so kind and helpful to us all. Lorraine Sakaguchi, our president, who is indefatigable in her efforts to make this always a successful event. I'd like to thank Jim Thompson and Carl Seff. Carl Seff, thanks for putting us up again. You keep us laughing. And I want to thank my husband, Steve Blake, for coming and being always a supporter. I also want to acknowledge my brother, who's here tonight. Thanks for coming, Bob. Bob's a plastic surgeon here on Oahu, Dr. Bob Peterson. And my niece, Kimberly, will be helping me, and Erin Green will be helping me. Thank you, ladies. So, the Maui Light diet, 7 ways to perfect health. Maybe that's a big claim. Okay, 7 ways to perfect health. Well, I'm going to give you some ideas on 7 ways to perfect health tonight, at least 2 different ways of looking at it. And I think you'll come away with a few good ideas that you'll be excited about trying. So let's start with the first one that is a very exciting idea. It's a juice. Well, we all love apples. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? Well, I went to Down to Earth and I couldn't decide which apples to get. I was very impressed with their organic selection of all their produce. We have Fuji's here. Since I couldn't decide, I got them all. Red Delicious. And then a bag of lots of Red Delicious for a less expensive price. So one advantage to making a juice with different apples is you get different flavors. You get the tart and the sweet flavors from the Fuji and the Red Delicious. Normally, we choose to eat the apples because they're high in the fiber and pectins that we need. They've also got a lot of vitamin C. They're wonderful, and the juice is wonderful for us. Sometimes we want to lighten up a little bit, and then it's nice to make our own juices. Do any of you have a juicer? Raise your hand if you have a juicer at home. Okay. Okay. We have a small one. It's not a Champion. Bill Harris loaned us this one tonight, so this is a good juicer. It'll make noise for a moment. Okay, we'll just do that amount of apple for now. Now we'll add some celery. What we want to do with the celery is take off the green leaves because they're rather bitter and they could influence the flavor. Now we'll cut off the bottom. Okay, so not too much trouble here. Celery is quite easy to deal with. And then we'll put in a few of these stalks. One more for good measure. That's about the right balance. Last but not least, we'll add the ginger. Now, why would we put ginger in a fresh juice? Well, it's a digestive stimulant, and it also it's very astringent, and it tightens the stomach a little, so it reduces hunger. That's good if someone's wanting to reduce a little bit in their hunger. It also is anti-nausea. If someone's ever not feeling well, you can cook a tea with ginger and it helps settle their stomach. We all remember ginger ale for that when we were young. Okay, that should be about right. I'd like to ask someone to come over here to taste it. Kimberly, would you like to taste this apple, celery, ginger juice? Have you ever had this before?
Nope.
Are you brave?
Yes.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay, great. She likes it. It's a good thing. You can finish that. Okay. Now we're going to set the Champion juicer aside, and someone will take it and make a lot more juice so all of you can taste it in the other room, so it won't be so noisy. Could someone take the juicer into the kitchen, please? Get like that.
Can one hand go here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
That's the owner speaking.
Okay.
Hold it up once, pal.
Hold it up to show off the juicer.
Oh, boy.
How strong you are.
He's showing off, actually.
He deserves to show off. He's in great shape for... What age is that, Carl? 29. Good enough. Next thing I plan to make is called Ono Greens Soup, and it's an amazingly wonderful soup. I first learned about it with taro greens, and I used the taro top leaves to make this soup, and they're just delightful. For tonight's purposes, I'm using collards, which are very nutritionally strong and not quite as deep flavored as the taro leaves, but you'll enjoy the soup. These are collard greens, and they're very strong leaves. I have friends now who are using these as wraps. They take pate and put it in it and roll it up like a little sushi roll. It's kind of delicious. These do have a little bit of oxalic acid in them, so we find it better to steam them.
What's wrong with oxalic acid?
Oxalic acid binds with calcium in the body. It can form kidney stones. It's very acidic. Do you have any other input on that, Bill?
That's it.
So to prepare a collard leaf, what we're going to do is fold it in half, and then we'll just cut the thick stem part off. So it looks like this in the end. If we want to, and for the purpose of the soup, I broke it up into lots of little pieces, about 1-inch size. Then it'll be easier to scoop. I've used collards with just steamed collards and potatoes, and it's one of my favorite meals because it's so satisfying and it's so easy to prepare. Just 5 minutes of preparation and a half an hour of cooking, and my supper is ready. We have a nice, beautiful onion. So how do you cut an onion? Well, we all know how to cut an onion, don't we? We might as well review it. We cut off the top and the bottom, the heads and the tails. So these parts we don't want. Could you bring the compost bucket, please? And then we scale around the skin without hurting ourselves. And then we peel off the skin. We peel it back like this. Thank you. So then we've got a peeled onion. By the way, if you ever start to tear, you can rinse your hands in cold water or your wrists, and it will stop you from tearing.
You don't rinse your nose?
Well, if the nose is running, I guess I would run away from it. Okay. So then there's a little bit of a core here that we want to also cut out. So now we have the onion without the hard core, and it's nice and cut in half. So I will put that in the frying pan. Well, I like to dice them thin. First I make thin slices, and then I make little dices. So. Okay. About like this. And that will fry up very nicely. In my cooking classes, I've taught many classes at the University of Hawaii on Maui with the VITEC program, and I almost always enlist someone's help because I think that in a cooking class it's good to actually learn something new. So if I might ask, Kimberly, have you ever opened up a garlic or cut up a garlic before?
Not really.
Would you like to try that now?
Sure.
Okay. Here you go. Come on over here. So peel off and pull out the little bulbs, okay? How many? Okay, well, two is good. There you go, thanks. Okay, now, are you comfortable using the knife?
Yep.
Okay, cut off the heads and the tails of the garlic, please. Smile. Okay. Now peel off the skin, please, Kimberly. I'll show you how. There are two ways. One is you can take, go ahead and set it down, I'll show you. You take the knife and you press it like this. That's how Steve always does it, but I'm not that strong sometimes. It never works for me. He does it that way. All right, forget that way. Let's try by opening it a little bit. Then you can loosen the skin and then it will peel off. Garlic's a wonderful spice. It's got antibacterial properties and it's anti-parasitic. It helps stimulate the immune system, and of course it keeps away vampires. Okay.
Everybody else.
All right, and everybody else. Okay, now cut it into... Oh, let me show you something, Kimberly, and all of you. What I do to cut a vegetable is I take the knife and I leave the top on the table like that, and I bounce it back and forth, and it makes it very much quicker to cut something up into small pieces. So why don't you go ahead and try that. Scoop it all in the middle. We want the pieces about the same size. Okay, look at the camera. Okay, that's perfect. All right, now another trick is scoop it all onto the knife. You go like this with the knife, and it can all go on. With a nice thick knife, it makes it easy to put into the pot that way. All right. Excellent. Thank you, Kimberly. Another herb we're going to add, or spice we'll be adding to the soup, the collards soup, is ginger. I love ginger. I use it in the apple-celery-ginger juice that you'll be tasting soon, and I'll be using it in the cooked soup as well. Ginger is best when it's got a thin, light skin and isn't old and hard. So it's good to get it fresh every now and then. One way to cut up ginger that's especially nice after you've peeled it is to cut it lengthwise along the grain. You make lots of little stripes, almost like carrot sticks would be. And then you cut those into little squares. Okay, now the ginger's chopped fine enough to add to the other pieces. Now these will all be fried together, and then they'll go into the soup pot towards the end. I start with cooking the collards for quite a while until they're soft, and then I add these fried or sautéed seasonings towards the end. It has more flavor that way. Because the hot plate isn't very hot, we'll be adding this to the soup in a little while. Okay, now I'd like to show my PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to tell you what is my idea of the Maui Light diet, 7 ways to perfect health. This is a salad I made with my niece Vicki when we were back in Massachusetts. It's a nice looking salad. When you have a salad like that, you hardly even want to eat much else, especially if you put some nuts on the top, maybe some garlic gomasio, which you'll be seeing in a few minutes. We'll be making that tonight. So what is perfect health? Does anyone know who this guy is? Not you, Bill. Who said that? Yes, that's Paul Bragg. Excellent, Linda. Paul Bragg looks pretty fit there, doesn't he? As I recall, I think he finally passed away surfing at the age of 93 or something. He lived here on Oahu. So perfect health is beyond the absence of disease. There's an abundance of energy. It's like having a checking and a savings account of health. With perfect health, we have sustainable habits for the long run. Appropriate weight, having love in your life, and feelings of well-being every day. 7 ways to perfect health in 7 days. Well, how about slow down and fast? On day 1, before I describe the different days, I'll say that all of the different spiritual traditions and religious traditions have fasting included. When I grew up as a Catholic, fasting meant eating fish instead of meat on Fridays. Well, I've learned other disciplines now, and fasting means more than that to me. Day 1 of a fast week, a proper way to do it would be to eat whatever you want of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, and grains. On day 2, you would have fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Day 3 would be fruits and veggies. And on day 4 is liquid. You have a juice fast, soup stock, pure water. Perhaps you could make this Ono greens soup that we're making today and share the food parts with your family and drink the broth yourself. You would be so happy with that. So it's all you want on day 4 to drink, juices, soups. Day 5, you return to adding the fruits and vegetables with all the liquids. Day 6, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Day 7, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, and grains. I've done this. Last year, I actually went for about 12 days on liquids, and I was using the fruit juices and the vegetable juices and the soup stocks, and I did not get a headache. I got lighter and cleaner, and it felt wonderful. And when I came off the fast and started eating pure quality foods again, which tasted delicious, I still wanted my apple-celery-ginger juice every night for 2 months. That was my dinner. You'll taste that soon. Fasting is not starving. With fasting, you burn brighter, all systems run cleaner, you sing clearer, you watch the reverse of your illnesses. Postnasal drip just disappears. Mucus congestion goes away. Inflammation diseases become a lot less severe. We don't want to overdo it. The European traditions recommend spring and fall, and rebuild carefully after a cleanse. Always seek professional advice first. You don't want to fast if you're on medications or in compromised health. When we're fasting, our bodies choose to eliminate the fat and diseased cells first. So it's the beautiful way for our bodies to cleanse and rejuvenate. Autolysis, defined in the American Heritage Dictionary of the English language, is the destruction of tissues or cells of an organism by the action of substances such as enzymes that are produced within the organism. So we're actually digesting our own fat and diseased cells. This is not to be used for a weight loss thing so much as for a purification, because you will rebuild. But what I've noticed is every time I've done some kind of fasting, when I come back, I'm not inclined to eat the denatured foods that I was perhaps indulging in before the fast. I'm more aware and more conscious of what pure food really is. And spiritually, it's nice because I'm more aware of what I can live without happily. It's amazing. There are many experts on fasting. There are books by Paul Bragg, Paavo Eirola, Dr. John Christopher, Norman Walker, and Edmund Bordeaux-Zekle. Those are all excellent teachers. Okay, back to food. What is food? Here's a picture of some produce that we got when we were in Mexico. We went to the market with our bicycles and we loaded up on fruits and vegetables. When we came home, we laid them out on a towel and we couldn't decide what to eat first. It all looked so good. We wanted to eat in a hurry. Well, sustenance and strength come from food. Higher quality food requires less quantity of food. That's something else you learn when you start reducing to more real pure foods. Organic food is wonderful because we really don't want to ingest the organophosphate, chemical pesticides that can cause nervous disturbance in our bodies. Less packaging is better. It's well worth the time it takes to buy and prepare fresh, beautiful whole foods. Natural foods. Here are the red bell peppers we'll be having tonight in the dish called Best Friends. Natural foods are high in antioxidants, the vitamins A, C, E, selenium, and the superoxide dismutase. These are all present in the fruits and vegetables. Natural foods are high in fiber. We want fiber every time we eat. I think that's one of the hidden links. If people are eating food that's been refined or dairy products that has no fiber, it's going to clog up their systems. Meat and fish also have no fiber. But these vegetables are loaded with fiber and everything runs beautifully. Essential fatty acids. We want a nice essential fatty acid balance with our foods. The omega-3 versus omega-6 ratio is very important. With the alpha-linolenic acid of the omega-3s, we're getting the reduction of inflammation, and with the linoleic acid and the arachidonic acids, we're getting more of increased inflammation. So we need the balance. An excellent balance would be a lot more of the omega-3s, which are hard to get in a normal diet. Flax seeds is an excellent place to get that. A great ratio might be 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, omega-3 to omega-6. Nutrient cofactors are also present in natural foods. When you have a food in its complete and natural state, you've got all the B vitamins. When you have refined white flour or white rice, many of the nutrients have been removed. Let's say the thiam in B1 has been taken out. Well, they might put some back, but in putting it back, they're only putting back half the B vitamins, so you don't have the other ones that are needed for it to burn properly. So you're getting some food, but it's not able to burn. It can't burn the energy, it can't burn the fats. You're only getting half of what the food is designed to give you. What about foods that are actually destructive? Well, here's a little ad for coffee that says you can sleep when you're dead. Nothing like a cup of Java, right? Well, it's exciting. I feel smarter when I drink it, and I'm more clever. I can move more quickly and think brightly. But we don't want it every day. It's like spending the savings account in our bodies. It stimulates the adrenals to secrete adrenaline, putting us in the fight or flight mode. We use that up. Okay, maybe once, that's fine. But if we do it every day, day after day, week after week, year after year, the adrenals cannot prepare the hormones necessary to keep our immune systems strong. We've weakened ourselves. We can be susceptible to autoimmune diseases if we're used to running on empty all the time and stimulating more. Excess sugar can be destructive. I know the dentist says it's true, and I still love a chocolate bar, but maybe it's good to not have it all the time. Meat and dairy, we all know, contributes to heart disease, strokes, and arteriosclerosis. Refined foods, I did talk about them some. Food coloring can be an irritant. It can be a nervous system irritant. Food coloring and artificial flavoring can actually create a really bad mood in me. I discovered it a few years ago when I was eating M&Ms. Every now and then I would eat M&Ms, And I noticed that within a few hours, there was something that I was angry about. I finally figured out it was the poison. It was my own sphere of influence that I was angry about. The enemy wasn't there, it was here. And I stopped using the food coloring and artificial flavoring in my foods, and I've been a lot more mellow about it all the time. And if it does that to me, just think of what it does to the little kids. Maybe it contributes to AHDH. I think there are documented cases of that, the irritants that come from those artificial flavors. And then there are the addictive foods that make us feel just right, and they taste oh so good. We have them day after day, and we know exactly what to expect, how long the good mood will last, and we can balance it with something later. Okay, well, let's leave a little bit of that in if we need to, but let's be aware of what we're doing and make our choices towards more pure foods as we go. Whole food, plant-based meals. Free radicals. They cause destruction of cells, and they need to be neutralized by antioxidants. Free radicals are like robbers, which are deficient in energy, part of a molecule that's attacking others to replenish itself repeatedly. We do get free radical hits in our bodies normally just by aging. Each cell gets 10,000 up to 100,000 or more free radical hits every single day. One cell. All our cells, every day. What are we going to do? I have an idea. Let's build our antioxidant protective balance. Where can we get our antioxidants? The FRAP score measures antioxidants as a ferric reducing ability of plasma, and it's found very high in all the berries. In this case, walnuts come up the highest. Pomegranates, blueberries, currants, strawberries, blackberries, cherries, blackberries again, sunflower seeds, cranberry, and ginger. We'll be having some ginger tonight, but all of the berries are always a good bet for you if you're looking for antioxidant power. Vitamin C is really the favorite antioxidant. It's vital for forming collagen, which is a structural component of our blood vessels, tendons, ligaments, and bone. Vitamin C can protect proteins, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids, that's RNA and DNA, from damage by the free radicals. One recent study of cigarette smokers found that vitamin C regenerated vitamin E from its oxidized form. This is from the Linus Pauling Institute at the University of Oregon. You've probably all heard of Linus Pauling. He won 2 Nobel Prizes, and one was for peace and the other for his work with vitamin C and chemicals. A little more about vitamin C. It's found only in fruits and vegetables. More is needed during colds and flu. It increases our resistance to disease. Vitamin C has an antihistamine effect, so if you have an inflammation, it can help reduce it. Among mammals, only primates, certain bats, and guinea pigs don't produce vitamin C. All the others do. Large doses increase interferon in the body, a great protector of the body. It can reduce the risk of cancer, infections, and heart disease. And we want the ascorbated form with bioflavonoids. Okay, vitamin A is a great antioxidant. It's beta-carotene, and beta-carotene is pro-vitamin A. It becomes it in the body. Beta-carotene is non-toxic. It contributes to healthy skin and mucous membranes. Whereas the preformed vitamin A found in meat or in supplements can be overdosed and cause toxicity. Vitamin E is a great antioxidant. It can neutralize one free radical inside the cell and then get recharged by vitamin C for another go-around. Again, these antioxidants are our best friends. Antioxidants for cell membranes. It protects us against cancer and heart disease. And sunflower seeds, almonds, and hazelnuts are high in E. So 7 ways to perfect health. I did discuss the nutrition and pure foods. I'll quickly do one slide each of a few other fun things. Fitness, love, play, communications, study, and quiet. Here's Bill Harris doing a skydive. Was that number 2,000 on your 80th birthday?
1,200.
1,200. An amazing man, still skydiving, parachuting, and trampolining. Well, we want to prepare food for our friends and family. It's wonderful to be the hearth and heart of your home. If you're ever lonely, share food with people, and you will not be lonely. Kimberly, do you recognize anyone in that slide? If you feed your nieces and nephew, they hold each other up. Here are a bunch of people at the Leilani Farm Sanctuary. We all went to volunteer one day and shared a picnic on the lawn. Okay, playtime. It's important to include our animal friends. Here we have a goat on top of a donkey, and a rooster on top of a goat. And I'm holding a duck and a kitty, and this is at the Leilani Farm Sanctuary. Animals make us laugh. They're wonderful. I think communication skills are wonderful. Knowing your neighbors. Who knows their neighbors? Well, set up something, set up a meal day. Agree to plant trees on the yard or something. And people who you don't speak the same language, you don't look alike, you don't go to the same schools, but all of a sudden you know each other's names, and someone who gave you stink eye is wanting to talk story. It's a really good change. It's wonderful to share a meal with your neighbors. Wisdom. Study the things that you most love to study. These things on the left are books. Do you remember those? And then we have those who study spiritual pursuits. Does anyone know who this man is in the lower left-hand corner? He's Marshall Rosenberg. I've learned some things from him. He teaches nonviolent communication skills. It's a 4-step process for learning, taking the time to feel what you're really feeling, know where it's coming from. Maybe it wasn't what just happened. Understand it, find your unmet needs, and express it. It's a wonderful teaching. Steve Blake is a great teacher of nutritional biochemistry. Angel Honig is one of my favorite yoga teachers. And then quiet time. Let's not forget to do the meditation and resting time. Okay, bon appetit. So that's okay. We'll finish with that. Thank you. Lorraine. Well, thank you for your patience, everybody. We're juggling hot plates and juicers and all kinds of things here today. So we're going to chop up a little bit more garlic, and I'll go ahead and do this one. I did peel it, and I'll just use my palm on the end of the knife and just dance the knife back and forth over it, and that should get the garlic chopped up just right for the next dish. Now, I've loved eating gomasio for a long time. Sesame seeds are very high in calcium, and the sesame seeds with salt is a very delicious topping for food. I also enjoy roasted garlic. So one day I thought, why not have them all at the same time? So here we have garlic gomasio. So there's a little bit of the garlic. Now put in some of the sesame seeds.
Which kind of sesame seeds?
Always the brown sesame seeds.
Why?
We don't, because the hull has more nutritional value in it.
Particularly calcium.
Calcium, is that where the vitamin C?
You'll lose all the calcium.
Oh, okay. So we want to be sure and use the brown sesame seeds. They're more complete and have all the calcium. Often I don't use much oil, but tonight I'm going to use just a bit of olive oil. And we want to cook this on medium-high heat. It should blend very quickly. And then I'll add a little bit of salt, and we'll have a wonderful topping for any dish. Kimberly, would you please come here? And then Erin, you're next up. Kimberly will now read to us the nutritional quality that we're getting in this dish, which is called garlic gomasio.
Per cup, there's 773 milligrams of calcium out of the recommended daily allowance of 1,000 milligrams. Magnesium has 260 milligrams, selenium 13 micrograms, iron 11 milligrams, sodium 500 milligrams, fiber 11 grams, protein 7 grams, calories 462 kilocalories, carbohydrates 1.5 grams, and out of the fats, fat is 34 grams, saturated fat is 5 grams, linoleic acid is 14, linolenic acid is 0.3.
Thank you, Kimberly. What we're getting is, if we were to eat a whole cup of this, which we won't, we'll probably eat maybe a half of a cup, if that's all we're having on our other potatoes and things, we're getting more than half of our recommended daily allowance of calcium. We're getting more than half of our magnesium. Now, magnesium works with muscles. It helps relax muscles. So if you're having muscle spasms and you want to relax your muscles, magnesium is the thing that you're looking for. And that's found in dark green leafy vegetables also. We'll be getting that in the soup tonight. We're getting a good amount of the selenium and a good amount of fiber. So it's a wonderful, healthful dish. Okay, now, Erin, would you please come over? Erin will show us how to chop up a bell pepper properly. Why don't you cut it in half, Erin? Okay. This is Erin Green.
Hello.
Okay, now take off all the seeds and the white part on the stem. Same thing over here, please.
Okay.
Erin, you're studying nursing, is that right?
No, my mother's a nurse.
Okay.
I'm studying library and information science at the University of Hawaii, though.
Okay, now we'll take these parts aside, and why don't you cut that into little stripes?
Okay.
This next dish is called Best Friends. I named it Best Friends because each one of these foods makes the other one sweeter and more delicious, richer flavored. Okay, what we're doing is great. But if we get a few of them lined up together, we can do them all at one time, okay? Let's try this, Erin, where you go tunka, tunka, tunka.
Okay. You can tell I don't slice bell peppers that often.
Don't get any blood in the food.
Yeah, no.
No.
All right, I'll finish up. Thank you, hon. Great. Love these volunteers. Guess we're all volunteers. Okay, the red bell pepper goes in the pan with an equal amount of cashews. And then they simmer for a little while. I put in a little bit of oil and let them actually saute for a little while. I usually use a skillet, but these hot plates have a very small stovetop, so I have to use a small pan. I cooked a lot more in the back room. So we have the best friends here of cashews and red bell peppers. When these start getting soft and browned, I cover them, and then they meld together for another 5 minutes, and they make a beautiful, delicious topping for anything. Erin, would you like to read the nutritional information of Best Friends, please?
Of course. Okay. Per 1/2 cup of a serving, there is 95 milligrams of vitamin C, 2,348 IU of vitamin A, 9.9 milligrams of vitamin E, 7.9 milligrams of iron, 6.8 milligrams of zinc, 48 milligrams of calcium, 23 micrograms of selenium, and 21 grams of protein.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay. I didn't put the calories on that one, sorry. But we can look at the diet doctor afterwards and look that up if you'd like. Steve Blake, my husband, a doctor of science in holistic health, has written the Diet Doctor, where you can enter in any food and find out the exact nutritional quality of it. We also have a movie of sauces that I had televised, and this is many different sauces that are quite delicious. And then we have my recipe book, Healthy Recipes for Friends, so you can get those from Steve Blake at the back table if you'd like. Normally, I cook this until it's browned. It's starting to brown nicely. We want it a little bit toasty all around the block. The garlic has to turn a little bit clear and toasty, and then we add some sea salt. With sea salt, we want to be careful because they all taste different. When I lived in Mexico, we were traveling in the Sea of Cortez, and this town called Guerrero had these mountains of sea salt on the shore. Well, I got brave after a while, and I snuck ashore, and I got a little cup of it, and I tasted it, and it tasted like seaweed. It tasted more like minerals from the ocean than the salt that I'm used to having from, say, Morton's salt. I've since discovered that all the different sea salts have different mineral contents, and although they're mostly sodium or sodium chloride, they have a lot of different flavors. I do add sea salt to things, but it's important to taste it as you go because many are different in how strong they are. After eating this Mexican salt, which Guerrero happens to be the world leader of sea salt, I have since discovered, then after eating this, I tasted some normal table salt, and it tasted acrid and hard and cold. It was not pleasant to me at all, and it was much stronger than I had been used to. So if you're using sea salt, go ahead and taste things as you go ahead and cook them. It's okay to add a little bit of salt sometimes, especially if you're exercising and you need to replenish your electrolytes. Okay, other foods that we're going to be having in our dinner tonight, in the soup, I put in some umeboshi plum vinegar. This vinegar is sour and salty. It's a delicious vinegar, and I like it to put a tang into just about anything I make. We have a little bit of tamari, which is a naturally fermented soy sauce. It's not fermented with chemicals or MSG, so that's a wonderful salt substitute. It's still salty. And then we added some coconut milk. Now be sure you get coconut milk that's not the sweetened kind. It's not for drinks tonight. We're making it for the soup. Thai Kitchen makes a wonderful coconut milk. We also have a little black pepper in the soup. So that's a lot of what we'll be having. All the foods are prepared, and we'll be enjoying them in a few minutes. We've added some lemons. Now lemons are very high in vitamin C. I'm sure we all know that. And then the bioflavonoids are on the outside of the peel. So if you were to grate the peel and make a lemon zest, you'd be getting some of the bioflavonoid content. Basically, with bioflavonoids, which helps with our antioxidants, it goes well with the vitamin C, anything with bright colors is going to have that. Lycopenes and the different carotenes. So you want asparagine, rutin, all the different vegetables, and a lot of the fruits will have bioflavonoids, and those build strong cell walls. It goes well with the vitamin C, which cleanses the cells and takes out the toxins. The bioflavonoids replenish the cell. Basically, what I've presented to you today, you're going to be tasting 2 nutrient-packed toppings for quick meal enrichment. You'll find a lively juice that you can make any time for a pick-me-up, maybe instead of coffee or black tea or even green tea. It really picks you up with no letdown. You're going to be tasting a rich and hearty soup packed full of antioxidants. You'll learn a little bit about the importance of fasting occasionally and how the best way is to do that. You've learned the long-term benefits of today's food choices, which is whole food, plant-based meals. And you've learned some new healthy eating habits made easy. So I want to thank you all for coming, and it's been a pleasure. You're a great audience. Thank you. If anyone has questions, please go ahead. Sure, you can use a blender. It's not exactly the same thing because with the juice you're taking out a lot of the pulp and the fiber. So the beauty of the juice is that you're getting the rocket fuel just already delivered to your system. It's right away, you feel it. But if you have a juicer and you want to lighten up a little bit, you could make a juice and then strain it, and you would get a lot of benefit that way. What do I do with the fiber and pulp? Well, I put it in the compost pile, and we have a lot of chickens and roosters, and they really love it. The question is, what about oxalic acid? If we cook the spinach or the chard or the taro leaves or the collards, does it get rid of the oxalic acid? Well, it neutralizes it. So then you can eat those foods without having it bind with calcium in your body or being too acidic. And I don't eat any collards raw, hardly ever, and taro never raw, because it's very high in oxalic acid. When I juice lemons, I would just use the yellow part. The foods that are high in oxalic acid, well, we don't want to eat these foods raw. That would be taro. That's impossible. It would burn your tongue. The shards, the silica shards would be horrible. Collards, Swiss chard, and spinach. Young spinach does not have so much, so you can have young spinach.
Using Steve Blake's Diet Doctor, the nutrients in 3 out of 4 of tonight's recipes, the Ono green soup, which could as easily have been made with kale from the Blake's Maui garden instead of collards, plus the best friends topping, plus the garlic gomasio were analyzed. In the first slide, the vertical columns on the left are the recommended dietary allowances for calcium, iron, phosphorus, copper, and magnesium. The now columns on the right are the amounts in the combined recipes, and it's clear that these mineral requirements are all exceeded. Vitamins A, C, E, and fiber are also exceeded. The total vitamin C content is 172 milligrams.
Okay, well, we'll get the food ready to share. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chef Catherine Blake, for giving us such a delightful cooking demonstration. I'd like to also thank her 2 able assistants back here, Kimberly Peterson and Aaron Green. I'd also like to thank Flora Wang, whom I forgot to thank earlier, and she's a Maryknoll senior who's helping us out for her senior project. We really appreciate all of you being here tonight to help. I'd like to also now invite all of you to join us out in the courtyard for some delicious samples of Chef Catherine Blake's food prepared with ingredients donated by the generosity of Down to Earth. And if you can, please help us to put away the chairs and stacks of tin in the corner there behind Fred. Thank you all for coming. Mahalo. Good night. Have a safe return home. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii, a nonprofit organization dedicated to sharing with the community the many benefits of a vegetarian diet. Free monthly meetings include vegetarian experts found locally and on the mainland, quick and easy cooking demonstrations, and helpful and delicious food samples. Members enjoy an informative quarterly newsletter, social activities, and discounts at many vegetarian-friendly restaurants and health food stores. For an application, call 944-8344. That's 944-8344. Or visit our website at www.vsh.org. vsh.org.